Good morning. Alright, I have a really fun, really cute little game. It describes itself as a casual turn-based game. And I'll show you the gameplay in a moment. But it is called SamuraiHop. It is also, as you might imagine, it is sort of vaguely Japanese themed. And it has no sound controls but a very funky beat. So I am going to let that play it for a little bit just to show you guys what the music is like, but I am concerned about copyrights, so we shall see how it goes. So first of all, let's jump in and have a look at the gameplay, and then some critiques afterwards. The first critique is, as I said, no sound controls. Right. So this is me on the far left with the swords. There is also a cowering rabbit with glasses. I don't know, is that supposed to be a sister or a girlfriend or something? Anyway, so the logic of the game is that I move and all the enemies get to move. The enemies, we have these two warthogs, I guess they are, who are melee attackers, and then these two crows who fire from range. I have the chance to be hit 3 times. That's my 3 lives on the bottom left. And I have what I think are special abilities on the bottom right that only activate in circumstances. And this is level 1 of 15. So let's try and show some movement. If I move upwards, he prepares to hit. If I move downwards, they all move. So now I can move upwards in front of him. He prepares to hit, but I can hit now and knock them backwards. If I jump downwards, they prepare. If I jump upwards, they jump forward. So I can hit. And now I think if I move, I'm going to get hit here. So what happens if I click this? I get to jump away. Let's jump across. Ah, good. That worked really well. So if I smack him, now, I've been playing a little bit. What I've discovered about the crows is that they have the ability to guard against my hits. So if they're in that position that you see the top guy is at the moment, they can actually protect and I can't hurt them. They can just block my blow. So I have to kind of get next to them while they're like that. And then I can hit them. And I win. Okay, so I win the round. So I can either get a full heal, or an extra health, or pierce, which I think might let me hit through those blocks. I'm not sure. But okay, it's my friend. I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be female or I don't know. Anyway, my friend is happy with me and is giving me a present. So let's just go with the pierce, and we'll play another round. It's telling me a victory. Alright, so the round is very similar, but I did see on that sort of opening screen that there is a third kind of enemy at least, so I think it will get more difficult. Oh, so you get to hit me. Okay, and I hit him once and killed him. Does that mean I get to go through their block thing? Oh, the pierce let me hit through them. And lunge sounds useful. Anyway, so that is the gameplay. I think I've shown enough. Okay, there's a third enemy there. I'll leave that for you guys to discover. Let us reload this to stop the music and put something interesting on the screen. So yeah, you can see there's other enemies over there, and we've just seen one of them. It looks like he had some kind of bomb or something. So I'm guessing he'll put something down that's timed, it'll detonate and do damage. Anyway, so that is the gameplay, and it is super fun. I think this is a game that is going to go places. I really hope so, because it looks like it really should. Let's go through our critique list and see what we can talk about here, how this game can be hopefully improved. Let's have a look. First of all, it was published 3 hours ago. But I mean, I don't know if this feels like a new game. Maybe it's a republish or a game that's lived somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe this is just the first publish. Maybe this developer just refines the game quite a bit before putting it out there. But refinements that he can work on to make this new game really impressive. Our first category is the UI. I think that a lot of effort has been put in here to make this as language neutral as possible. So there's not a lot of text. Yeah, so I mean that is a very difficult and very clever UI design to work around. Is the idea of removing, some kind of language text to as much as possible, and just using images and icons to show the interface, which is fantastic. It's localization is incredibly difficult to get right, and very expensive, depending on the number of languages you want to try and cover. So that can be appreciated, but it does make things a bit difficult to figure out what's going on. The game, however, is quite simple, and I think some of the fun is finding out how to play. So fair enough. That's a factor to take into account. Obviously, we're missing the sound controls, and we need to be able to turn the music off and keep the excellent sounds. We're turning it up and down is also a really nice one. So depending on how much effort he's willing to put into the sound controls, but that music is quite ongoing and relentless. People won't like that if they can't turn it off. So making it very obvious. Somewhere on the menu you can click here and go turn the music off. The music is great, it's fantastic, but it just carries on and on and on and on. If you're trying to do a thinking puzzle, that makes it uncomfortable to do the thinking. And obviously for YouTubers who want to try and show a little bit of coverage of the game, turning the music off can be helpful depending on copyright reasons and things like that. So yeah, I heartily recommend sound controls. Otherwise the sounds are great. I think the clang might be something to say, hey, this is something that has been blocked, and I didn't get that at first. So maybe some visual accompaniment as well to show that something has been blocked, rather than it's just I have to hit this guy twice. It's like, no, it's blocked. I cornered one of those crows at one point and just hit him over and over and over and over, and it was going clang, 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 and that's how I realized that it was being blocked. I didn't immediately at first go, right, that noise is a block. So yeah, I heartily recommend adding some kind of visual sign or something to say that this is a block noise, this is a thing. Or possibly a little tutorial introduction, say this is how you move, this is, if it goes clang, it's been blocked. If it doesn't, then you win the exchange, or something like that. I don't know, some kind of introduction to tell the player how your game mechanics work, and to keep your lack of text. That is tricky to do, but well recommended. The artwork is fantastic. This is a very, very good looking game, and to whomever the artist is, if it's the developer or an associate of some sort, fantastic work. Is very, very pretty. It very really draws you in. I like it a lot. Just a bravo in the art. I'm like marginally concerned. Oh, where's the mute tab? I'm marginally concerned about sort of stereotypes and things like that. It's a tricky. It's kind of something that is based around an ancestral. Is ancestral the word? Sort of an old traditional functional part of some particular race can get a little bit tense, a little bit complicated. In terms of how people approve of it and approach it. So you got to be a little careful there. But I think this is okay. I don't know. I'm not an expert in those fields, but I don't know. It would be nice to get a Japanese person to sound off on how they feel about this. Probably it's absolutely fine, but just be careful about how you adopt certain cultures, traditions, and things like that, and how people might react to it. Ironically, it might not even be the the people involved. It might be completely unrelated people who feel compelled to intervene on behalf of others. Um, so yeah, just be careful. There is what I would say. If you're making a game that adopts any kind of cultural stereotype or historical piece, make sure it's flattering rather than abusive. I think this is fine, but otherwise, yeah, the art is absolutely stunning. The game feeling is great. Again, it's a little bit difficult if if you don't quite know what's going on. It is quite important to be careful how much is fun for the player to discover and how much is actually frustrating for the player to discover. Um, I think this game is still on the fun side of things, but people can get frustrated, and that's going to reduce opinions and approval of the game. So yeah, consider a little bit of a tutorial, maybe an optional one, to say this is some of the gameplay mechanics that are involved. Can't off the top of my head think about how you would design that, but something, a little slideshow when you start a game to go, this noise means a block, this is how you move, this means they're about to attack. To teach people who've never really seen the game before how it all works. Finally, the immersion. I mean, there's a lot of potential story here that isn't being presented to us. The bits that I get is we are a samurai who is roaming the world with our mate. I'm assuming is a friend rather than a love interest or something similar. I don't know. Anyway, so it's us, it's our mate. Our mate can't fight. We, however, are a competent swordsman, and for some reason we have been attacked by these enemies who are also anthropomorphic-ish creatures, the warthogs and the crows and so on, and they wish to end us for some strange reason, and now we must fight them off. And that's fine. That's interesting enough, but is it? There's so much more that can be done with it. I mean, that's enough storyline to draw a player in, I suppose. But there could be more. There could be discussions of how bandits have taken over the kingdom. There could be discussions of how we have some kind of destiny or secret or something that we're trying to get to somewhere important. There's a lot that can be hinted at or outright explained at the beginning to really draw the player in and go, this is who you are, this is what you're fighting to do, to defend, to protect. You need to, you're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for some kind of greater goal, and that makes a player want to play. It makes them want to win, to do the fantasy virtual, the fantasy goal. I don't think it costs too much to put in an expanded storyline, and I think it can be very important for a game's success, for the player's enjoyment, for the things that are the I suppose the fundamental purpose of a game. So yeah, consider some kind of storyline, some kind of meta that will pull the player in for, again, a few screens at the beginning, some kind of slideshow or text on the screen or something. And don't take the easy way out and try and put it in the game's description here on like the itch.io page or whatever, because that doesn't count. What if the game goes somewhere else? What if people just don't read that and try and jump in? You really need that it to be a fundamental part of the game itself, to go, here is the setting, here are the controls, here is the game feeling, here is the immersion elements. It needs to be built into the game itself. For not all players, I will admit, there's a lot of players that don't really care about anything like that. They're just here for the puzzle, or the art, or the brief distraction. But there are players who really do care about that, and who are looking for a good storyline, and who will continue to play the game if they see something like that, and will stop playing it and disregard the game and not recommend it to their friends or whatever if they don't see that. So yeah, put some storyline in is my recommendation. Put some sound controls in. Otherwise, this game is fantastic, and I do hope that people come and play it. And I forgot to do the YouTube bit after the gameplay, so I will do it now. Thank you for playing. Like if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more itch.io games reviewed, and leave comments, because comments train YouTube to be good for you and me, and I like to hear from you guys. So yeah, tell me what you think of the game. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will now leave you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.